He cuts himself open on the floor of his own home, hands his flesh to his mother and his bones to his father, and dies in front of them. He is 7 years old. The dragons release his parents and leave. That scene is from the 16th century Ming dynasty novel Fengshen Yanyi, chapters 12 to 14. And the version you know from the films is not that story. Li Jing commands Chentang Pass for the Shang dynasty. He already has 2 sons. His wife has been pregnant for 3 years and 6 months when she dreams of a Taoist who pushes a shining pearl into her arms. She wakes in labor and gives birth to a ball of flesh, round, spinning, lit from inside, giving off a fragrance that has no business being in a delivery room. Li Jing draws his sword and cuts it open. He assumes it is a demon. He is attacking his own newborn before he has ever seen his face. The ball splits. Inside is a boy, already the size of a toddler, red sash around his belly, gold ring on his arm. His master arrives, names him Nezha, takes him as a disciple, and then reveals what the boy actually is. Fengshen Yanyi is a 16th century Ming dynasty novel, and what it says plainly is this. Nezha is not a child who happened to be born with power. He is the spirit pearl Lingjuzi, deliberately incarnated on orders from above, because the Shang dynasty is scheduled to fall and heaven needs a vanguard officer for the coming war. His parents are never told. The decision was made before he existed by people who had no intention of explaining it to the family that would have to live with the consequences. He did not arrive. He was deployed. Everything that happens to this household afterward is the cost of that deployment. Hold that thought, because there is one thing heaven does at the very end of this story that almost no retelling ever shows you. We'll get there. Summer, brutal heat. Nezha is 7. He walks out to the 9-Bay River and steps in to cool off, rinsing his red sash in the water. The sash is a Kunlun treasure. Rinsing it turns the East Sea red and shakes the crystal palace to its foundations. The Dragon King sends a yaksha to find out what is happening. The yaksha attacks. Nezha kills him with the gold ring, 1 strike to the skull. Then the Dragon Prince rides out with the sea host. Many retellings present this as Nezha heroically killing the Dragon Prince to save children. In the novel proper, the Dragon King was simply minding his own business, and Nezha accidentally caused the quake by washing his treasure in the water. The Dragon Prince in the novel is not a soul brother and not a co-lead. He is a page and a half. Nezha kills him and pulls the tendon out of his corpse. He takes it home because he wants to make his father a belt. He is a 7-year-old bringing his dad a present. He does not know he has killed a prince. When the Dragon King tried to denounce him to the heavens, Nezha was made invisible by his master and ambushed the Dragon King, beating him into submission. Then the Dragon King goes over everyone's head to the South Heaven Gate to petition the Jade Emperor directly. Nezha waits for him at the gate of heaven itself, beats him again, strips more scales from his back, then forces him to shrink into a small snake and carries him home in his sleeve. A boy has assaulted a Dragon King twice and humiliated him at the door of the celestial court. The Dragon King is bleeding and furious and has nowhere left to appeal. That matters because of what he does next. And what he does next is what forces Nezha's hand. But before that happens, there is a second kill, and this one comes from his father's own armory. Nezha finds an ancient bow in his father's stores, weapons from the age of the Yellow Emperor. He shoots west for no particular reason. The arrow travels hundreds of li and kills a disciple of a powerful goddess at Whitebone Cave. Enraged, the goddess seeks revenge by attempting to kill Nezha and his father, Li Jing, only to be ultimately defeated by Nezha's master, Taiyi Genren. But before that intervention, Li Jing recognizes the arrow immediately. It is from his own family's armory. There is no defense and no argument. 2 deaths, both accidents, both traced to one household. Li Jing is now a man who understands that his son is a loaded weapon aimed at everyone he loves, and he has no way to unload it. Now the Dragon Kings move. 4 of them come to Chentang Pass. They seize Li Jing and Lady Yin, bind them in their own home, and announce they will drag them to heaven to answer for their son. This is the moment the whole story has been building toward. Not the kills, not the battles. This. Nezha returns and finds his parents tied up on the floor. He says the line the whole video is built to deliver. One person does the deed, one person bears it. He tells the dragons what he is, the spirit pearl, incarnated under celestial orders, and that his body is therefore not a small thing to spend. Then he spends it anyway. He cuts open his belly. He takes out his intestines. He scrapes the flesh from his bones. He returns his flesh to his mother and his bones to his father, and he dies on the floor in front of them. The dragons release his parents and leave. It works. It costs everything. Now here is the thing that makes this scene something other than a sacrifice. The classic of filial piety states, "Our bodies to every hair and bit of skin are received from our parents, and we must not presume to injure or wound them." This is the beginning of filial piety. Every literate person in imperial China knew that line. The text was widely used during the Han and later dynasties to teach young children basic moral messages as they learn to read. You do not own your body. It is on loan. So when Nezha cuts himself apart and hands the pieces back, he is not just dying. He is settling a debt in full. Paid in full means nothing is owed. Nothing owed means no father, no mother, no son. He performs the most extreme act of filial piety in Chinese literature, and by performing it perfectly, he cancels the relationship. He saves them by erasing himself from the family. A soul with no body cannot go anywhere. His master tells him to appear in his mother's dreams and ask her to build a temple at Creeping Mountain, 40 li from the pass. 3 years of incense from worshippers will rebuild him a human form. Lady Yin builds it in secret. She does not tell her husband. The shrine works, pilgrims come. Half a year passes. Then Li Jing rides by on patrol and sees the crowds. He goes inside, finds a golden statue of his dead son, and understands what his wife has done. He whips the idol 3 times. He smashes the golden body. He burns the temple to the ground. He kills his son a 2nd time. And this time it is not an accident, not fear, not a misread demon. It is a decision. Everything before this, Nezha absorbed. This is where the love ends. If you've been watching this channel and you want more stories that the adaptations quietly filed the edges off of, subscribe now. The next video goes somewhere you will not expect. But finish this one first, because the ending is the part nobody talks about. Nezha's spirit, now homeless and half erased, reaches his master's cave. His master takes 2 golden lotus flowers and 3 lotus leaves. He lays the leaves in 3 parts for the 3 powers, heaven, earth, and humanity. He breaks the lotus into 300 sections for the 300 joints of a human frame. He sets the golden elixir at the center, guides the soul in, and says one word: "Get up." Nezha stands. Same face, same voice, and not one particle of his parents anywhere in him. The lotus grows out of mud and comes up clean. He is rebuilt out of a substance that owes nobody anything. He is free, and he is no longer human, and those 2 facts are the same fact. He gets the fire-tipped spear and the wind-fire wheels, and then he goes straight to Chentang Pass to kill his father. He hunts Li Jing across the land Li Jing runs. He is a general who has commanded armies, and he is running from a 7-year-old made of flowers. His other son tries to stop Nezha and fails. Another immortal traps Nezha and burns him, and it does not fix anything. So heaven stops trying to reconcile them and installs a control device instead. This is the part the films will never show you. Randeng Daoren hands Li Jing a golden pagoda, teaches him how to trap his own son inside it and burn him until he agrees to say the word father, not until he forgives, not until the relationship is repaired, until he says the word. Li Jing carries that pagoda for the rest of eternity. That is why he is known as the pagoda-bearing heavenly king. The title is not an honor. It is a description of what he has to do every time his son looks at him. Heaven's final solution to a broken family was not healing. It was permanent leverage handed to the parent to be used on the child forever. The narrative contained in chapters 12 to 14 of Fengshen Yanyi ends with a roster of gods. Most of the war dead get their names written into it. Nezha is one of only 7 who never die at all and ascend in the flesh. Li Jing is another. The father and the son both made it. Neither of them was ever released. Drop in the comments what you think heaven actually owed this family, because I've read this 3 times and I still don't have a clean answer. And if you want the story that comes directly after this one in the novel, the one where the war heaven planned this whole thing for finally starts, that video is right here.